Wow, thank you everyone. Please give them another round of applause. So thank you for joining us today for the Asian Pacific American Heritage Month celebration. That was Buchanan High School's Lion Dance crew. Lion Dance is usually performed during the Chinese New Year to bring good fortune for the year, and oftentimes firecrackers will be set off to let the lion wake up, and a monk who was wearing the mask also plays the role of the protector so that the lion can be joyful and have fun. And we are so fortunate to have them with us today. My name is Kathy Mua, and I'm the student coordinator of the Asian Pacific Islander Programs and Services at the Cross Cultural and Gender Center.
Hello everybody, I'm going to be serving as your co-MC tonight. It's good to see you all. My name is Eric Ebert. I am the lead graduate student assistant at the Cross Cultural and Gender Center.
And before we open up the event, we would like to take the time to acknowledge locally that we are standing on the tribal lands of the Central Valley's indigenous people through a land acknowledgement.
It is important to recognize the land that we are on and pay homage to the indigenous groups that allow us to be here today. It is my honor to introduce our greeting from the provost, from Dr. Fu, Dr. Zhang Fu came to the United States as an international student and has previously worked at 4 universities and has worked here at Fresno State for 18 years. He previously served as an Associate Dean of the College of Social Sciences and Dean of Undergraduate Studies before being appointed as Vice Provost. Dr. Fu was appointed Interim Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs effective January 4th, 2021. In his interim role as the university's Chief Academic Officer, he is committed to empowering California's Central Valley's diverse student population who will become the leaders of tomorrow. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Fu.
Welcome to all of you this evening to join us in this exciting celebration. First, I want to thank our talented faculty, staff, students who put in hours and hours of hard work to put this activity celebration together. So thank you. Thank all of you. As we know, the month of May marks the Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. This is a month we recognize and celebrate the contributions and the influence of Asian American, Pacific Islander Americans to the history, culture, and the achievements of the United States. We are part of the people who made the country as it is today. Be proud. This is our country. Federal Asian Pacific American Council selected this year's theme as Advancing Leaders Through Collaboration. And this theme was built on last year's theme to advance Asian Pacific American leaders. As we know, Asian Pacific American history in this nation is filled with successes, resilience, persistence, determination to fight for basic rights, and unfortunately also filled with discrimination and prejudice. We have made great stride. We have a lot of work to do. This is the time and the month we celebrate our history and the rich variety of our cultures. And this is the time and the month we highlight our contributions to our country, the United States. And this is the time we bravely fight against all types of hate crimes and prejudice against us. Fresno State offers the best reflection of the rich diversity of Asian Pacific Americans and the contributions they have made to the community and the region. Tonight's celebration is our tradition at Fresno State. I'm so happy to see the return after 2 years of absence due to the COVID pandemic. Please enjoy the evening's performances, food, friendship, and let's carry on our legacy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fu. The power of recognition and respect speaks volume, and that brings me to the theme of today's celebration. And so the Asian Pacific Islander community is rich in its its diversity, and each community has its own special and unique culture. And this year's theme is Blossom Together. I want to recognize the challenges that our API community has faced and honor these and celebrate the resilience and the strength of our communities during these trying times. Since 2020, and even before that, the API community has faced many hardships, but we found courage and we found support within each other. We turn to our brothers and we turn to our sisters. We turn to our families, those that we are born to and those that are made. And we turn to our friends. But most importantly, we look and remember our roots, our history, and we find strength and warmth from the success of our predecessors, of our pioneers, of our history here in America, in the United States. We create wonders together, we succeed together, and we celebrate together. Therefore, we blossom together. And so today we have Dr. Jenny Bond with us, the coordinator for the Asian American Studies program, and she is leading the development of a new major in Asian American and Asian Studies here at Fresno State. This is a major development in the history of Fresno State. And Dr. Bond received her anthropology PhD from the University of California, Riverside, and previously received a cultural studies master's from Claremont Graduate University, as well as an anthropology BA from UCLA. Her research focuses on Asian Americans and Asian studies, cultural anthropology, and popular culture. So please welcome Dr. Jenny Bond to the stage.
It's an honor and a privilege that you invited me to be your keynote speaker. Next slide. So today I'm going to do a talk on 10 reasons why Asian American Studies matters. But before I start that talk, I want to give you a personal story. And I want to talk about my personal story I want to share with you because I want to kind of convey to you that all our personal stories matter. There's 24 million Asian Americans, and all our stories matter. All right, next slide. Okay, so I want you to take a look at this picture. This is me, okay? Imagine me, I was actually raised in Belleville, Illinois, in the Midwest, and every single day I went to Catholic school, okay? Imagine me, 8 years old, I wore a plaid green skirt, I had, the same shoes that I still have now, which is Mary Jane's. Next slide. Yes, have you ever seen the movie Church Red? I was Melee, okay? I was Melee, okay? I had to get those good grades, okay? My mom had to be happy, okay? I still have my barrettes I still wear. I'm kind of the same, okay? So I want you to imagine me at 8 years old. Every single day I go to Catholic school. We lived in a Chinese restaurant, and I entirely don't even want to call it a Chinese restaurant because it was so small. It was as small as that tiny table. Okay, it was like a to-go. Okay, and in that Chinese restaurant, we lived there, but we also worked there. And actually, pretty much 90% of our customers were African American. I felt so warm and close to them. They felt like family, actually more like family than my own family. So every single day, like Ling, I'd go to Chinese school, or actually a Catholic school, and I would cross the street. It was really scary as for an 8-year-old. Very scary, okay? I'd go to church, get on the bus, say hello to the bus driver, and he'd take us all the way to Catholic school. I would say, hello, Sister Mary, hello, Father John. And, they'd be stern, and I'd try to be like Ling, try to get the good grades, okay? And then I would say goodbye. I would say, goodbye, Father John. Goodbye, Sister Mary. I'd get back on the bus. I'd go back, cross the back of 2 streets. And I did that every day for multiple years. And then one day, just a regular day, I was 8 years old. I come home. I see my mom. She's taking orders. I see my dad. He's like stir frying because for all the customers. And I go, put my foot back down. I go, Mom, I'm black. My mom, very shocked, very excited, very shocked, she goes, no, you're not black. So I turn back to her and say, Mom, I'm black. She goes, no, you're not black. So it's back and forth, calculating, Mom, I'm black. Because I knew I wasn't like the girls in the Catholic school. Everyone was Caucasian, everyone was white except for me. I thought I was black like the customers. So my mom got extremely angry. Now, if you've seen the movie Turning Red, has everyone said, "You are not black, you are Chinese." And of course, I was 8 years old, and I'm like, okay. And I totally was like very submissive, and I'm like, okay, I'm Chinese, but in my mind, because I've never seen anyone Asian, I thought all people were Asian, and all Chinese people were Asian, and everyone Asian was my family. Sadly, I still think this. I mean, it's good or bad. I still think, every time I see Asian guys, I still think they're my family. And I kind of share this story with you because this was the beginning of my Asian American identity, okay? And I share stories because I want to normalize that we all have beautiful stories to share, right? And our stories matter. All right, next slide. So without further ado, 10 reasons why Asian American Studies matters to you. 1, you know, sometimes we're walking around in school, you get these like microaggressions, like, where are you from? Your English is so good. Well, you tell them that actually Asians have been here since 1765. In fact, Filipino indentured servants, they were kind of like slaves, fought back against the Spanish sailors, jumped ship, and relied the continental United States. And they rebuilt and contributed to that area. You know, I've been to the Philippines, and if you've eaten their food, it's very rice, it's very fish, it's very shrimp. Guess what? Has anyone had Cajun food? Very similar, okay? So Asian Americans have always contributed in multiple fundamental ways, and these Manila men actually even fought in the 1812 war for the United States. Massive contribution. 2, next slide. You know, a lot of people ask me like, well, why? And you probably are thinking too, why is Asian American Month? Why is Asian Pacific Month? Why is it in May? Right? Well, let me tell you, okay? The Asian American Month is in May because in 1869, we had the Continental Railroad actually connected with the other railroads. So it was kind of in the month of May. And also, the Japanese came in 1843. And they came in May, okay? Now, that's why we have it in May, okay? Now, I want you to take a look at this picture. This is such a famous picture. You guys are smarty pants, I know, okay? Take a look, guys. Front row, let's take a look. This is a really famous picture because it shows actually the east and the west railroad connecting, okay? Very famous picture. I'm gonna rely on the front row here, and you guys over there. Who's missing? This is a very important picture. You've seen it before. It's in all your history books, right? Take a look. Is it fancy clothes? Yeah. Is it trying to show they're really great? Okay. Now, is there any Asian men in this picture? I hear a no. Okay. Now, if I were to ask you, did you know that the Continental Railroad, 90% of the workforce were Chinese? Males? Raise your hand if you knew that. Knew that, okay? Well, in the picture, there's not one Asian male there. What is that insinuating? What is that trying to imply? That's trying to imply that Asians don't matter. When I'm telling you, think about the railroad. They connected the east and the west. They gave modernity to the United States. That was Chinese men, okay? And that transformed the world, okay? Number 3, raise your hand if you're an American citizen. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you were born here. All right, I want you to thank Hmong Ark. Hmong Ark was a Chinese restaurant worker in the 1800s. And he was born in San Francisco in the 1800s, and he left for China to look around. Well, when he came back, they were like, no, you can't come in. He was like, what? I can't come in? I'm an American citizen. I was born in San Francisco. They're like, no one Chinese or Asian can be an American citizen. So he fought, and he fought, and he fought, and guess what, guys? You guys all raise your hand. Did he win? Yeah! I want you to thank this guy, Kim Wong-Ark, because he is the birth of birthright citizenship. And I want to tell you, not every country has that, okay? Did this change the world? Did that change you? Definitely. All right, next slide. Now, unfortunately, as Provost was talking about, there has been like a tremendous amount of anti-Asian hate of late, but even in the past, okay? In the 1800s, we had primarily Sikh Punjabi lumber workers in Washington. And they were hardworking workers, and Anglo-whites got together and actually beat them up and actually terrorized them, okay? And actually pushed them into the country of Canada. Can you imagine, okay? But these workers, lumber workers, fought back, okay? And they moved to Fresno, and they moved to Stockton, they moved to actually San Francisco, and also Astoria, Oregon. And guess what? They formed the Gadar Party. The Gadar Party's one mission was to free the world of imperialism. To free the world. Isn't that a great thing? Right? People count out these workers, these farm workers, and guess what? They were hugely successful, okay? They sparked an international letter campaign. They sparked an international poetry all over the world, inspiring poetry, right? Some people will say, well, they weren't successful because the key members, some of the leaders got caught or executed. But I would say no. They sparked a worldwide revolution of freeing colonized countries. And it led to many anti-colonial movements because of this group, right? Wonderful. Next slide. All right, raise your hand if you fight for this country. Raise your hand if you fight for this country. All right, raise your hand if you fight for this country if the country incarcerated your family. Wow, okay. Well, you guys are smart pants. I know you guys know how, they dropped the bomb, Japanese dropped the bomb in Pearl Harbor. You know about that. And you know that there's a tournament. We all know Fresno. They scooped up all the Japanese and they put them in the Fresno fairgrounds, right, to hold them, okay? Really terrible history, even local history. And what happened was, when President Roosevelt did that, he also he enabled a group of Japanese Nisei, which is second generation, to join the army, an all Japanese army, right? Japanese American army. And what they did is they fought the Nazis, and they freed internment camps, okay? And they saved thousands and thousands of lives in World War II. They are the 44nd, guys. I want you to know that history because they are the most decorated army regiment for their size in the United States history. Is that important? Yeah, super important. All right, next slide. All right, I know you guys are really smart. I can just tell, okay? Now I'm gonna say, who's the starter of the United Farm Workers Movement? Scream it out, scream it out. Cesar Chavez, is that correct? Yes, definitely true. But do you guys know the story of Larry Militon? He actually was a Filipino, and he, in the 1970s, he actually was the first person to actually strike in the Delano grape strike. Look that up after this presentation, I want you to look it up. And what happened was, he's like, okay, we're Filipino, we're too small, let's group up with the other farm workers. And so he called Cesar Chavez and he said, hey, let's combine our two groups, Filipino and Mexican, and let's start the United Farm Workers Movement. So again, huge impact globally and the world, okay? Huge impact. All right, next slide. All right, so, we've had, up and down in terms of history, and sometimes, unfortunately, there have been terrible instances. But from those instances, beautiful things have happened. Now, in the 1980s, there was a racist killing of Vincent Chin. If you're not from the Midwest, I'm from the Midwest, there's a lot of anti-Asian sentiment, particularly during the 1980s. So in the 1980s, everyone blamed Asians, particularly Japanese, for destroying the auto workers, right? A lot of auto workers became out of work, right? And they blamed Japanese, like Hondas, right? And so what happened was, this is Vincent Chin, he just got married, he was gonna get married, he had a great job, getting ready, he went to a place to do his bachelor party, wonderful time, and then these two Anglo men screamed racist things at him. And then he protected himself and he defended himself, and they actually killed him. Now, I want you to think about it. If you kill someone, would you go to jail? Yeah, would you at least have a fine? Okay? So the two auto workers, out of work auto workers, never did 1 day of jail and never paid $1 fine. Okay? This unfortunate incident sparked one of the beginnings of Asian American identity, Asian American activism, because Southeast Asians got together with South Asians, got together with East Asians, got together with Pacific Islanders, got together with African Americans, Jesse Jackson, and they fought and they protested this racist injustice. And this is one of the huge things that we teach in Asian American Studies. So his impact from this terrible incident really sparked a huge coalition of multiple Asian American groups. Next slide. All right. So I think you're like really young, but some people know about this, some people don't. Does anyone know anybody who is undocumented, doesn't have papers in America? Anyone? Okay. See a lot of hands up. Okay. Do you guys know the story? Who's the first dreamer? Does anyone know the story of the first dreamer? Now, this is Teresa Lee. Teresa Lee was born in Brazil. She's Korean, ethnically Korean. And what happened was her parents were fleeing the war, the Korean War, and then fled as refugees into Brazil. She was born in Brazil, and undocumented, she came to the United States, and she was basically raised her whole life in Chicago, okay? And so she was like a phenom mom, and what happened was a lot of the teachers wanted to help her, and so they brought like petitions, and they went to Dick Durbin, who was a senator, and said, hey, help her, get her citizenship, she's basically American. He tried, he said, it's my personal goal to like get her citizenship. He wasn't successful, but what happened was, all these other undocumented in Chicago came up and said, can you help us, can you help us? It got bigger and bigger and bigger, and guess what? President Obama signed the DACA Act back then, which has transformed America, and definitely transformed Fresno State and the CSU system. A lot of people think that undocumented Muslim Latino, but let me tell you, if you go look at University of California, 50% 1 to 2 undocumented DACA, they're Asian. They're Asian, okay? This DACA has transformed and helped millions of lives in America. Next slide. All right, who's in love? I know the youngsters, you're not in love, but we're just gonna put our hands up. Who's in love? Give me some hearts. Love? Okay, who's in love? You guys are in love? In the front row, you guys are in love? Okay, put them up, okay. All right, so I can just like look at you and tell that you would fight for love, right? Okay? Now, this gentleman is Eric Kwan, okay? He has transformed, his love has transformed your lives, okay? Because his girlfriend, let's give it up for his girlfriend, Sherry, okay? Every day, or not every day, but ever so often, his girlfriend was in Shandong, China, and he had to sit through a 10-hour train ride. It was so tight that he slept while stiff, like this. He slept like stiff. He's like, oh my God, I gotta see my girlfriend, but I can't do the standing and sleeping all 10 hours, okay? So, you know what he invented? Have you guys heard of something called Zoom? Raise your hand if you're a Zoom. Has Zoom changed your life? Oh, hello, well, thank you, Eric Kwan. And thank his girlfriend, his love for his girlfriend. That actually enabled it. All right, and number 10. The 10th reason why Asian American Studies matters is because you matter. Your story is important, okay? You are making a huge impact in your community, okay? Being here is a sign of beauty, and your culture matters, okay? And I kind of look back to my mom, like back when I was 8 years old, okay? When my mom was like holding me stiffly in my shoulders, I was 8 years old, and saying, you are not black, you are Asian, okay? And I kind of now know what she meant. She wanted me to become proud of who I was, and proud of my identity, and prideful of my culture and my history. And I want you to be prideful of your culture and history. Next slide. And if you are prideful, I'm going to invite you to get an Asian American minor or double in Asian American Studies, or if you love Hmong language, minor in Hmong, or Armenian or Japanese, okay? So again, you matter, okay? Last slide. So I want to tell you that Asian American Studies matter. So I'm going to start a chant, okay? I'm going to end it this way. I'm going to say Asian American Studies, and you're going to scream out matter. Okay, 2 front row. Ladies, got it? 2 girls? All right. Asian American Studies? Matter. I can't hear you. Asian American Studies? Matter. Last one. Asian American Studies? Matter. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jenny Vaughn. So Asian American. One more time, Asian American? Yes, Asian American matters. Okay, thank you so much. And so we're gonna welcome our next performers. Eric, can you take the floor?
Thank you, Kat. So I'll go introduce our next performers. It will be a hula dance from the Hula Hula I Kala, meaning hula school in the sun in the Hawaiian language. This is a hula school in Fresno, California and Toronto, Canada, established in 2014. Their vision is to promote and educate the community about the aloha spirit through the Hawaiian art of hula with performances, workshops, and other services.
The Textiles of Asia and the Pacific Islands is a fashion show that showcases the diversity and unique aspects of all our pan-ethnic Asian communities. Please welcome our first models, Jason Lin and Handkerchief. The theme is Chinese wedding. It is a Chinese tradition for the bride to wear a red dress called a qipao. In Chinese culture, red symbolizes happiness, prosperity, and good luck. The groom's outfit usually matches the bride's red dress with gold decoration patterns. Up next, we have Yuni Lu, Yunhan Wang, and Alvina Wu. The theme is China in the Qing Dynasty, the qipao. The qipao originated during the Qing Dynasty, is a standard social outfit, and comes in a great variety of designs and patterns. It is popular at formal occasions such as weddings and parties. The qipao takes inspiration from the ethnic clothing of the Manchu people. It is most often seen as a longer, figure-fitting, one-piece garment with a standing collar.
Up next is Carmen Ho and Kai. The theme is China in the Han Dynasty Han food. It is said that Han food can be traced back more than 4,000 years. Han food features a loose upper garment with sleeves and a skirt-like lower part. The belt sash is often decorated with jade. It is considered a symbol of authentic Chinese culture, reflecting Confucian scholars' aspirations towards rituals, music, and moralistic ideals. Next is Hyun Soo Lin and Madeline Dose. The theme is Korea Hanbok. Hanbok can be traced back to the 7th century during the Three Kingdoms in Korea period. Korean women wear the hanbok for formal or semi-formal occasions and events such as festivals, celebrations, and ceremonies. Men's hanbok consists of an upper garment and a vest. Hats, gats was an essential part of formal dress and has become more popular due to the emphasis of Confucian values from China. The gats was considered an essential aspect in a man's life.
Next up, we have Akshi Kashyap and Rahul Sharma. The theme is Indian. Akshi is wearing a lehenga choli, which is a type of ethnic clothing for women from the Indian subcontinent. It is a combination of lehenga, a long skirt, and choli, a blouse. The skirt is long, embroidered, pleated, and secured at the waist. The attire is complemented with traditional jewelry and a dupatta. Dupatta is traditionally seen as a symbol of modesty, as its main purpose is to serve as a veil. The next Indian couple, the kurta, is a traditional loose, collarless shirt worn in many regions of South Asia, and now also worn around the world. Kurtas are worn with loose trousers called shalwar, or tighter pants were known as churidars. Less traditionally, they are worn with jeans as well. Men wear kurtas with traditional accessories, and one of which is known as a shawl, to keep them warm or to complement a costume. Up next, we have Yuni Lu, Yunhan Wang, and Alvina Wu. The theme is China in the Qing Dynasty, the qipao. The qipao originated during the Qing Dynasty as a standard social outfit According to records, our dye was created by Lord Yuan based on the Chinese Ming Dynasty costumes featuring a long, split tunic worn over trousers.
Up next is Cindy. The theme is Hmong Dance members. Cindy is wearing a traditional Hmong Dance outfit. This outfit is worn with long black traditional black pants, and wrapping around her waist are two long lat in the color green and pink, along with the beautiful hand-sewn money belts. This outfit is topped off with a beautiful hat known as the Huozhongshou. Next is Serenity. Serenity is wearing a traditional Hmong Ling outfit. This outfit is paired with a very beautiful color printed skirt and a plain black apron called a shade. This outfit is a top off with a dark head wrap layered fabric called the xinjiang. Up next is Marina Garcia. The theme is Philippines. Also, the Bara set. It is the Filipino style of women's clothing. Traditionally, it is composed of a blouse and a long skirt with a panelo. The upper-class women wore more elaborate barrel styles sewn with beads and colorful designs.
Next up, we have the Hula Dance members. Although the climate in Hawaii includes warm beaches, tropical rainforests, and even chilly winds and snow, traditional clothing for men and women were minimal, made from plants and other natural fibers. Adornments and capes were even made with bird feathers to signify royal status. Hula implements include split bamboo, hollowed calabash, seeds, coconuts, and feathers. Next up, we have Wendy Wei. The theme is Singapore, Salvadoris. Being a small country, Singapore is multiracial as well as multicultural. Salwar kameez represents Indian clothing with loose pants and long tunic-style tops. The dress usually comes in vibrant colors and varied designs.
Our next model is Ali Her. The theme is modern Hmong Chinese clothing. This outfit is a modern take on a dress with Hmong Chinese influence, featuring Hmong bastic fabric and a silver headdress, portraying ox horns symbolizing wealth and power. Next is our model Ba Hua Li. The theme is traditional Hmong Dance outfits. Ba Hua is wearing a traditional Hmong dance representing the traditional outfit of a traditional Hmong wedding. Our next model is Cynthia Yang. The theme is Hmong New Year clothing. Cynthia is wearing a traditional Hmong outfit infused with a modern day style to showcase how Hmong clothing has evolved with the changing times.
Next up, we have Yunsu Lim. The theme is Japan, the yukata. The yukata were worn traditionally as a bathrobe all year round. People wear yukata without socks in casual settings such as summer festivals and to nearby bathhouses. Men's yukata are distinguished by the shorter sleeve extension and lightweight fabric.
for the band dance group one more time. And so the next event on our program is the fashion show, and we have special speakers for you today. Remember, join me here.
Thank you, Kat. All right, I'll go ahead and introduce our next performers. Our next performers are the Classical Dance Group of India. The Classical Dance Group of India is a group of experienced dancers who are trained in various classical dance forms from India, like Kathak and Bharat Natyam. The group also performs contemporary Bollywood dance numbers. The group has been performing in many cultural programs for the last 5 years in the Fresno area. The Classical Dance Group of India performs a song from the movie Kalam. The lyrics of the song celebrate the classic love story of Hindu Lord Ram and Sita. The dancers are performing Kathak style of dance, which is one of the many classical dance forms from India.
performs all around Fresno professionally as well. And I want to welcome the next group. These are inspiring dancers. I don't know if you saw them trickle in, but I'm going to introduce them. And so, let's see. So this group is called Tai Tuki. So please give our participants a round of applause. So Tai Tuki is a leadership program offered at a helpful encounter for young girls ages 5 and up. It is a program created to help younger youths build their leadership skills, develop a growth mindset, and support our community through service learning and through exploration of culturally appropriate activities, such as traditional Hmong dance. And so they're going to take their time to get ready, and then when they're ready, they'll start. I can't help but say, oh my gosh, aren't they so cute? Oh my goodness. Please give another round of applause. All right, so before I introduce the next performance group, we're going to do something a little out of the ordinary, and we're going to ask you to fill out an assessment form. Woo! Please look at your phone and look at the QR code, so that next time we can make similar events and make them even better. So we're going to give you maybe a minute. This dance is the most popular folk dance of Northern Chinese minority tribe, Manchurian. And it is popular in cities as well as the countryside. Dancers usually dress in red, green, or other colorful costumes to express the happiness and joyful atmosphere. We are so pleased to have them here. But I wanted to thank you all for coming to tonight's Asian Pacific American Heritage Month celebration. We worked very hard on this event, and I want to thank all of my CCGC staff members here. Raise your hand. Woo! And then I'm going to pass it to Eric.
All right, thank you, Kat, and I will have the honor of closing us out. Thank you to all our performers, collaborators, and those who made it out tonight. We wish you the best for the rest of this evening and a safe trip home. Please remember to fill out the assessment form and to grab any extra food if there's any left. Looks like there's some. All right, enjoy the rest of your night, everybody. Thank you.